So the cost function consists of two parts. So the first part is related to the final state. And the second part is for the state from 0 to n-1. So the cost function is defined related to the state vector, the control policy, and some random disturbance. And the optimization is subject to the dynamics of the system. So the system has already been discretized. So we have the discretized motion function. And also the policy is used to determine the control input by using the current state. So these are the problem formulation. For the solutions to this problem, so for the solutions to the above problem is known as the dynamic programming algorithm. So for the dynamic programming algorithm, we start with the final state. So the final state is just given by the first part in the cost function. And the second equation is iteration equation. So we only make optimization in one step. So we only optimize the step K. And plus the optimal solution from the next state, from the state of k+1 to the final state of n. So these are the problem formulation and the solutions. In the last lecture, we discussed an example. Remember, we discussed the example. So the example is trying to minimize a cost function, so contain two parts. The first part and the second part. Subject to the dynamic equation to update the states. And we also have the activator constraint. So the UK, the input must be between -1 and 1. So in this question, remember that we have not defined the initial conditions. We have not defined initial conditions, and also to make it simple, we define the n equal to 1. So for the solution to the problem, remember our first step is for the final state k equal to n. So So we have this n. So in this case, n equal to 1. We have this Jn is actually just equal to G1. So it's given by x1 minus 2 square. It's given by the first part. So the next, we will do the optimization step by step, also iteration by iteration, run backwards. So the second step is for k equal to n minus 1. So in this case, it's given by 0. So we have this j n minus 1 equal to j0 So remember in the equation, we have the current state. So the current state given by x0 minus 2 square plus u0 square. So the current state, and plus the next state until the final state, optimal solutions. So this given by this G1. Because so we are going to optimize this function with the control policy at 0 and k equal to 0. Because x0 has nothing to do with the input, so the x0 can actually move out of the optimization. So this actually become u0 square plus x1 minus 2 square, and x1 that's given by x0 plus u0. So this x1 this minus 2 square. So now our task is to minimize this function, And in this function, there are two variables. So the u0 is the input, and the x0 is the initial state. So the initial state can be treated as a constant because we are going to optimize this function in terms of u0. So it's become an unconstrained optimization problem. So for the unconstrained optimization problem, you remember our necessary conditions. So the necessary condition is for the derivative to be 0. So for the derivative in terms of u0, so this function, just this whole function here, this function, the derivative to be 0. So if you solve this, you will get u0 equal to 1 minus half x0. But remember, we have the activated constraint. So the u0 star is equal to 1 minus half x0 only for the u0 is between minus 1 and 1. So we have some 3 situations in this case. So the first one is if the 1 minus half x0 is between minus 1 and 1. So in this case, in this case, we have the u0 star equal to 1 minus a half x0. So in this situation, we want to further decide the range for x0. So from this equation, we may derive that x0 is actually between 0 and 4. So you only need to rearrange the equation, you will have this case. So what are the other situations? So how about if the 1 minus a half x0 is greater than 1? In this case, what will be the optimal input?
Stop the
so in this case, we have a function for u0 at here, and we want to find the minimizing point of this function. So this function is a quadrature function for u0. So for quadrature function, if we plot the function, it will be something like this. So if we plot the function, if we plot this whole function, in terms of u0, it will be something like this, in this shape, because it's a quadrature function. So in this quadrature function, we have a single minimizing point at here. So these are the global minimizing solution for this function. And in this case, it's given by this 1 minus a half x0. So 1 minus a half x0. So this shape of this function depends on x0. It depends on x0. But we know this particular point, this minimizing point, is given by 1 minus half x0. But in this case, we have 1 minus half x0 is greater than 1. It's greater than 1. So that means where is 1? In this case, we want to plot 1 and minus 1. So where shall I put the 1 and minus 1? So we have the 1 minus half x0. So this point is greater than 1. So in this case, it means that, so for example, we may put the 1 at here. So it's greater than 1. And further, we may have the minus 1 at here. So our u0 can only, for the u0 can only happen in this particular range. So in this case, we know the minimizing point will be given by this point. So this will be the u0 star. So in this case, we know the u0 star will be 1. So corresponding to this particular point. So if you can understand this solution, then the next quite straightforward. So we also rearrange this equation to get the range for x0. So in this case, we have the half x0 minus 1 is smaller than minus 1. So we have the half x0 smaller than 0. So the x0 is smaller than 0. So these are the same condition. So in this situation, we may summarize that if the x0 is the initial state, our initial position, the initial state is smaller than 0, then we have the u0 star equal to 1. So we have discussed the optimizing point in between -1 and 1, and this case is the point is greater than 1. So the third situation will be if the 1 minus a half x0 is smaller than -1. So in this case, what are the u0 star? So to evaluate the u0 star, we can also plot our function. So we know it's a quadratic function we plot in terms of u0, and the global minimizing point is given by 1 minus a half x0. So in this case, the minimizing point is smaller than -1. So that means we have our -1 at here. So we have our 1 at here. So these are the possible range for u0. Possible range for u0. So in this case, you know the minimizing point, the optimal solution will be given by this -1. So in this case, we have this u0 star equal to -1. So for the range for x0, we also need to rearrange the equation. So we have the a half x0 minus 1 is greater than 1. So the a half x0 is greater than 2. So that means the x0 is greater than 4. So this becomes if the x0 is greater than 4. So we have this u0 star equal to -1. So now we can summarize the 3 situations to get the optimal control policy. So our optimal control policy is given by, so it's a mu0 depends on x0, u0 star. So this is given by the u0 star. So we have 3 situations. So the first situation is given by 1 minus a half x0. So if the x0 is between 0 and 4, the second situation, if the x0 is smaller than 0, then this is given by +1. And if the x0 is greater than 4, so this will be minus 1. So from the solution to this problem, we noted that we arrive at a control policy at here. So that means we can determine the optimal control input by using the initial state. So it's a more general solution. So if you recall our pendulum problem, you remember that in the pendulum problem, we start from the state of 0, 0, 0. So in that case, we calculate a set of solutions to reach the destination. But however, if you change even a little bit on the initial condition, so for example, your initial condition is not 0, but a little bit angle. For example, at the point 001 degree. So in that case, you need to do the optimization again, because all the calculation, all the conditions have been changed. So you know the optimization take a lot of time. If you got a lot of iterations, so even you change a little bit on the condition, then you have to do the optimization again. But in this case, you know we develop an equation for the optimal control. So you got a general equation for the optimal control. So in this case, if you already solve this problem, if you change a little bit on the initial condition, so you don't need to do the optimization again. So all these are general. So this is the main advantage of the dynamic programming techniques. Another advantage of the dynamic programming is the iteration-based method. So in each step, we only calculate one step optimization. So it's a step-by-step iteration. So it's very suitable for the computer implementation. So these are the advantages of the technique. But the disadvantage of technique, you can observe from here. So even for this simple solution, it's quite challenging to derive the solutions. So it's not a simple, it's not a straightforward technique. So here we only got we only try the one step. Actually, we only do the one step implementation. But if we have more steps, you will know the mathematics will be very difficult, because in the dynamic programming, you will consider all the situations. So you try to consider all the scenarios. So it's more like a programming. So you have to think about all the potential solutions. So that's the reason why the solution is general, because you already taken all the scenarios into account in the derivation. So these are the solutions to this problem. So this problem is just an optimization problem. So in addition to using the dynamic programming, so actually we can use our previous techniques to solve this problem. So we can verify this solution with our previous techniques. So we want to verify the solutions, verify the solutions with So you know in this problem, we have the cost function, we have the dynamic equation, and we have the activator constraint. So actually, it's a constraint optimization problem. So the techniques that we require to verify the solution is the constraint optimization. The constraint optimization. So from the simple verification, I will show that both techniques get the same solution. But for the constraint optimization problem, we need to define the initial condition. So assume we have our initial condition x0, 3 equal to x0 equal to 3. So these are our initial conditions. So for the x0 equal to 3, if we observe the solution, we know the x0 will fall in this range. So by using this method, we know the solution to this problem will be given by 1 minus a half multiplied by 3. So it supposedly will give you the solution of minus a half. Then we try to use our previous method to see whether we can get the same solution of minus a half. So our cost function is J is given by, so the n equal to 1. So our cost function n equal to 1. So this is given by x1 minus 2 square plus this x0 minus 2 square plus u0 square. So the x1 by using the dynamics given by x0 plus u0. So this is x0 plus u0 minus 2 square plus x0 minus 2 square plus u0 square. And in this case, we have the x0 equal to 3. So this is given by, so the 3 minus 2 just give you 1. So this is u0 plus 1 square minus u0 square plus this x0 equal to 3. So 3 minus 2 just give you 1. So for the following procedures, you can either follow our standard constraint equations. So you can construct the Hamiltonian and use all the constraints to solve it. So it's quite also complicated. To make it simple, because from here we already know that this range is that this x0 equals 3 actually will fall into this situation. That means the activator constraint are actually not activated. So if we use this knowledge, this pre-knowledge, so we can just assume to tackle this unconstrained problem. So let's try to see what happens. So to tackle this unconstrained problem, we just evaluate the necessary condition. So this will be the dj du0 equal to 0. So this will be equal to 0. So the delta u0 given will be given by, so this 2u0 plus 1 plus 2u0. So this given by 4u0 plus 2. So we have the 4u0 equal to minus 2. So we have the u0 star equal to minus a half. So these are our solution from this constraint optimization. And also, just as we just discussed, from the dynamic programming, if the x0 equal to 3, so the x0 is between 0 and 4. So in this case, the u0 star is given by 1 minus a half x0. So it's given by 1 minus a half multiplied by 3. So we get the minus a half. So these are our u0 star. So from here, you know the two methods actually give you the same solutions. It's the dynamic programming, the DB. So because I just use the solution from here, so we already derived the dynamic programming solution. So the x0 in between 0 and 4, because equal to 3. So just given by this solution. So we calculate this solution and get u0 equal to minus half. So from this simple verification, we can show that we actually get the same solution by using different methods. And the dynamic programming is just another optimization tool to tackle the same problem, but by different methods. So these are the first example. So I will also go to another example. So this example is actually from the past exam papers. So it's quite similar. It's actually quite similar to the example that we just discussed, but maybe look quite different. We want to minimize a cost function given by k to 1 to 2 and x1 k minus 5 square. So subject to the dynamic equation. So now the dynamic equation is given by the vector form. The vector form. So we define the x1 and x2. So you remember that in our previous examples, we can always derive a linear equation. You remember our xk plus 1 equal to a matrix multiplied by xk, x1k, x2k, and plus another vector multiplied by uk. So remember in the pendulum problem or in 1D path planning problem, we have the same standard equation. So the modeling is trying to derive these equations to establish the equations. And assume in this case, this equation is given by, so this 1, then 0, 2, so that's 0, 1. And our input is given by a range between -5 and 5. For our initial condition is given by the x10 equal to 0, and the x20 is a variable, is given by a. So this example is one of the past exam papers. So from this example, you can know. So actually, the knowledge has been completely covered in our lecture, but maybe the question is presented in a different form. So to tackle this problem, firstly, let's observe the cost function. We know the cost function depends on x1, x1k, and here we have the x1k, we have the x2k, and this equation we require the x11 and the x12, x11 and x12. So from the updated equation, we can get an equation for x11 and x12 depends on the initial condition and the input. Yeah, so the idea is in this equation we have a variable of x11 and x12, but both x11 and x12 are unknown. So our known variable is the initial condition, and what we want to optimize is the control input. So it's similar to the pendulum problem. So we hope to establish the equation for x11 and x12 in terms of the initial condition and the control input, but not iterative equation. So we want to get the equation for x11, x12, and just depends on the initial condition. We know the initial condition is the x10, x20, and in this case, our u0 is the input. So we want to establish the equation for x11 and x12 in terms of these arguments, and because these are the initial conditions already given, so that we can establish equation to solve the control input. So these are the idea. So we can easily establish this equation by using the updated equation. So we know in the updated equation we have the x1 k plus 1 is actually given by x1k plus 10 x2k, and x2k plus 1 equal to 2 x2k plus uk. So these are the updated equation. So from this updated equation, we can establish these two quantities. So the first one is x1, x12. We require this x12 in the cost function. So the x12 is given by this x11 plus this 10 x21. So in these equations, we got the x11 and the x21. So what is x11? x11 is given by x10 plus 10 x20. So for the x10 is given by 0 plus 10 multiplied by x20 is 8. So this is given by 10 8. So the x for the x21. So this are the equation for x11. For the equation for x21, for this one, x21 equal to 2 x20 plus u0. So the x20 equal to 8. So this is given by 2a plus u0. Then we can establish the dynamic equation. So in the dynamic programming algorithm, from the cost function, we know this n equal to 2. So for the k equal to n equal to 2, we have this jn equal to j2 that's given by x1 to minus 5 square. So these are the final state. And secondly, we do the reverse. We do this backwards. For k equal to n minus 1 equal to 1. So we have this jn minus 1 equal to j1. So this given by, so x1 1 minus 5 square plus this j2 x12. So we use this optimal solution and here. And the first part is just for the iteration at 1. So this equal to, so the x11 is independent as the input at the k equal to 1. So this can be moved out of the iteration. And the G2, for the G2 is given by x1 2 minus 5 square. So this is given by x1 1 minus 5 square plus so the x12, we know the x12 is given by x11 plus 10 x21. We already know this from our derivation and here from our update equation. So the x11 is given by 10a plus this 10 x21. So the x21 equal to 2a plus u0, 2a plus u0 from here. So this x12 minus 5 square. So we try to optimize this function in terms of mu1. So this can be rearranged to be u0 plus 30a minus 5 square. So now we have a cost function and we want to minimize this cost function. So we can use the necessary condition. So our necessary condition is to compute the derivative in terms of u0. So the function at here. So this to be 0. Set this to be 0. So the derivative is given by this 2 u0 plus this 30a minus 5 and multiplied by 10. So this is equal to 0. So we have the 10 u0 equal to 5 minus 38. So we have this u0 equal to a half minus 38. So this solution is only for, so if, in this case, if the half minus 3a is between minus 5 and 5. Remember our activator constraint. So in this case, we also got the 3 situations. So it's the same as in the last example. So the first situation, if a half minus 3a is between minus 5 and 5. So in this case, we have the u0 star equal to a half minus 3a. So in this case, you can try to rearrange the equation by yourself. So if you do this, you will know the condition for A will be if the A between minus 3 over 2 and 11 over 6. So the second situation is if the a half minus 3a is greater than 5. So in this case, this u0 star will be, so remember our plot. So if we plot our causal function like here, in terms of u0, so the global minimizing point is given by a half minus 3a. So now this value is greater than 5. So we have our 5 right here and the minus 5 right here. So in this case, we know our optimal solution will be given by this point. So this will be the u0 star. So this is given by 5. So if you rearrange this equation, you know this means a is smaller than minus 3 over 2. And finally, if the solution is optimal, if the minimizing point, a half minus 3a, is smaller than minus 5. So in this case, the u0 star will be given by minus 5. So the plot for this situation is like this. So we have our, so this u0, this is a half minus 3a. So these are the situation. So the global minimizing point is smaller than minus 5. So this will be the u0 star. So if you rearrange this equation, you will know this equivalent to a is greater than 11 over 6. So from the three situations, we know the optimal policy is given by this. So there are three situations. So the first one is given by a half minus 3a. So if this a, we know that a is the initial condition. Is the initial condition. So it's given. So if a is given and between this range, so we will arrive at the global minimizing point. So if the a is smaller than 3 over 2, so we get the minimizing point to be 5. And finally, if this a is greater than 11 over 6, this will be minus 5. So these are the solution to this problem. Okay, so today we just stop here. So I will suggest you to try the 2015 exam papers, and we will go through that on next Wednesday.
那天不是有做那个 PPT 发的时候，不是有写，你不是有写那些需要做什么？
哦，在
那个有没？有没有看到有？